move on. Let's move to Denton, Texas. The North Texas Mean Green, a breakout year for the Mean Green. They go 9-4. Is that right?
I believe so. 9-4.
Maybe 9-5.
Maybe 9-4.
They won 9 games. I know that.
9-3 with the bowl loss.
Yeah. So they had and the conference title loss.
Yes.
Too.
So
They got beat. They got personally
right.
victimized by Roll Owls. But I want to ask you about North Texas. I think we were relatively bullish on the second year under Seth Luttrell. I think that ended up paying off. For me, though, their New Year's resolution is going to be on the defensive side, and that is they got to find some front seven guys, because when you look up and down what this team did well, they're almost all on the offensive side. And if you're talking about defense, their pass defense was fair. It was okay. It wasn't special. They got gashed on the ground. In fact, they were 96th in the nation in yards per carry allowed. Part of that is you give up 500 yards on the ground to Army in a fantastic game that I was at. It was very cold, but it was wonderful. I could watch Army play football all day. But I think the front seven is what needs to step up. I think, and I don't want to assume for you, I have now gotten to the point that a Seth Luttrell offense is going to be a Seth Luttrell offense. It's going to score. The difference is going to be getting the other team off the field and making a couple of stops. You can do that, but it's got to start with those standard downs. It's got to start with 1st and 10 and second and 6. Get them into 3rd and long so that you can lean on what had been a pretty decent and relatively young secondary. To me, they got to find some front seven guys to make some stops on 1st and 2nd down on the ground. That is my New Year's resolution for North Texas.
I'm going bold. You called it a breakout year for UNT, which it was.
Yeah.
But I'm going to prepare the war chest for UNT here, because in this job cycle, I don't think we heard Seth Luttrell's name come up for really anything.
It was just yuck monkeys like you and I.
It wasn't a lot.
Who were maybe saying, "Ooh, he'd be a good fit."
Exactly. You didn't hear that a lot. That's going to change next year. And if a big job comes open, it's going to be tough to keep him.
Yeah.
But you look at this team, I mean, they're prepared to make another run at the CUSA title. And if that happens again, if they're winning 10, 11 games, people are going to be making calls on him. And you can protect him from a mid-level job, a slight step up, maybe an American job somewhere, or maybe, a low-level, I don't know, ACC job, something like that.
Yeah.
You can protect him from some of those. And so I think you look at this, you've got a maturing Mason Fine. You've got 16 guys coming back from this year. I mean, they win 9 games this year. They're going to be even better. I think they're going to be the chief competitor for the Lane Train down in Boca. I mean, they're going to be good again too. But UNT is going to be right there. And if they win that league again, you're going to want to have some support to keep Mr. Luttrell around. And so I'll say prepare the war chest for UNT.
I think that's
Be
right.
ready to fend off some suitors, because they're coming. I was surprised we didn't hear more this year, but next year it's going to be ramped up significantly.
And I think a lot of that may have been that there were just other guys who were getting that. Scott Frost, right, was getting that kind of, he's the guy. He's the hot coach at the Group of 5 school. The guy at Troy whose name escapes me.
Neil Brown. Air Raid fellow.
Yeah. Those guys were getting the talk of, like, these are the next guys. His time's coming, and if they win another 9 games, North Texas fans, like, you got 2 options. You can either wave goodbye to him, or you can back up the Brinks truck, because that's what it's going to take to keep him in Denton. Now, I think he's got a good situation in Denton. I think they got a new stadium. They got better facilities, a program that's obviously willing to invest. He's got a great recruiting bubble that he can draw kids from. And when you win, it's easier to get recruiting. But you're exactly right. If I'll pull a name out of thin air. If South Carolina comes calling, right? It's going to be real hard. Or if he's from, he came from North Carolina. If someone on the East Coast, a Power 5 program out there, comes calling, it's going to be very hard, no matter how good a job North Texas is, or how good a job we perceive North Texas to be. It's going to be very hard to keep him there. And so I think that's pretty apt. Is you got to start maybe talking to those donors, talking to those broadcasters.
And I think too, those things could pay off beyond, even if you don't keep him. If you have an investment that says, we poured in X amount of million to keep this guy, okay, maybe you don't actually keep him. Like, in Scott Frost's case, he goes home instead of, fashioning UCF into the next Boise. But that says to the next coach, okay, this place is committed. This was not just a one-coach thing. If I come here, I'm going to have resources. I'm going to be appreciated. And I think that pays off. Even if you don't keep the coach, that can pay off for you well down the line.